What are you doing back there?
What?
What you back there fidgeting from?
Sure copy. Yeah, be still.
You're moving again. What? There you go, you're still at it, man. You're still fidgeting. I don't like people moving behind me, sitting behind me and shit. You gonna sit back there, you gotta sit the fuck still. I don't like that shit.
This motherfucker's crazy, man.
Hey, I just want to talk to him. What? I just want to have a word with him.
Talk to him, Mark.
No, I call it. I'm in my back seat. It's like, man, the motherfucker fidgeting in your car. You shoot first and you ask questions.
Shoot!
You shoot first and you ask questions later.
You just met him.
Fidgeting, man, I'm right about him. I'm always right. It's like when I'm right, I'm right. And when I'm wrong, I could have been right. So I'm still right because I could have been wrong.
That makes sense. Come on. Say that again.
Come on. It's like when I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong, I could have been right. So I'm still right because I could have been wrong, you know. And I'm sorry because I could be wrong right now. I could be wrong right now. But I'm right.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Makakadash, double honors to the elders of GMS who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect, Akim, four corners, pursuit of truth and sincerity. Peace be unto you. This video was just shown to illustrate a visual illustration of intuition. You know, here we are, we're men of the Most High. Hopefully we're the prophets. You know, hopefully we are those, you know, if not the 144,000, at least the fold of the one third. So we have intuition. And in the clip that was shown, you know, the guy named Bama who's in the movie, he's the guy that's driving. 50 Cent's name is Marcus, and the guy in the back name is Justice. Now, in the movie, you know, or in this clip, shall I say, Justice in the back seat, he's fidgeting around, and in the front seat, you know, Bama, he sees that as a yellow flag, and he confronts him about it, and he keeps doing it, and then he confronts him again, and he keeps doing it. He pulls over and he confronts him, and he says, you know, like I said, when I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong, it could have been right. So I'm still right because I could have been wrong. You know, forgive me. It could be wrong right now, but I'm right. Now, in the movie, he was right. That was the same guy that ended up shooting, you know, Marcus in the movie. And another thing about it is that he was the same dude that was pulling a tooth, and he reverted to smoking crack too in the movie. He pulled a tooth out of this one dude that was supposed to be an informant working with the Colombians. It was hanging and torturing him, and put a shower cap on over his head. And they gave him, I think Majestic gave him a tool, said pull a tooth out of his mouth. Said, you working with Colombians too, huh? You know, he ended up smoking crack over that. Now, the thing is that, you know, he was right. So with him being right, it's the situation is that just like in this truth, you're going to have people that's going to be right. You know, they might have intuition and be able to see something that you necessarily can't see. And that's the thing that, you know, Most High gave certain brothers. You know, certain brothers might be able to see somebody, you know, ain't right. You know, another person might not be able to see it. You know, he had that, you know, if you look throughout the whole movie, he has that he got like that sixth instinct in his mind, because there was a situation also in the restaurant where he's sitting down and he's sitting next to this Colombian, and then before you know it, you know, car pulls up and you can see the car behind him, in the window. And when the car pulls up, what happens is that he takes his hat off the counter, and right underneath the counter, there's a gun underneath there. And so the guy who was sitting next to him, he waved the guys off because it was about to be a hit. And Bama realized it and was prepared and bracing for it. And he pointed his gun at the dude and towards the door and just walked back out the back. So he was a guy who had, like that sixth sense, really that good intuition. And, you're going to have, in this truth, you're going to have people who have, better intuition than you, and some of the actions and things that they do you might not understand. The elders, the apostles, they got extreme intuition. They've been in this thing longer than some of us been born, so they're able to peep stuff, saying, don't wear shorts, don't do this, don't do that. Because if you look in the movie, he was just moving around. Nothing really was wrong with what he was doing, but the thing is that in the end, Bama was right. He saw something in him. Yahweh Shai made a statement. This is Matthew 10:17. It says, but beware of them. Salakia. All right, Salakia. This is the verse. This is in Mark chapter 12, verse 38. And he said unto them in his doctrine, beware of the scribes, which love to go in long clothing and love salutations in the marketplace. Now, it says, beware of them. That's a yellow flag, a red flag, actually. That's what Yahweh Shai said. You wearing, long clothing like that. Oh, that's not necessary. You wearing long clothes because you want to be seen. And also it says later in the verse says, and love salutations in the marketplace. They love it. You give salutations, because in the marketplace, that's where everybody at. And when you giving salutes, you able to show everybody, look, everybody know me. I know everybody, so it's not that they just love salutations, being saluted. They love it in a specific place in the marketplace. Verse 39, and the chief seats in the synagogue and the uppermost rooms at feasts. So they're the ones that also, they like to be seen, in that special, that special table where they can stand out. Because if you look at all these things that's described, it's people that do things that stand out. You wearing extra long clothes, you're trying to stand out. You love salutations in the marketplace, you're trying to stand out. You want the chief seats, which mean like the best seat, like the throne, like there'd be like a round table and then there's a big giant throne, like red with gold trim. You want that one. Want to stand apart, sociopathic, tendencies. Reading on. It says, and the chief seats in the synagogue and the uppermost rooms at feast. Verse 40, which devour widows' houses and for a pretense make long prayers, these shall receive greater condemnation. Now it says, for a pretense make long prayers. Now, how would you know if somebody's making a long prayer or not? They'd have to be saying it out loud. And they saying it out loud because they want to be seen. So watch out for people, that want to be seen. And so that's what, Yahweh Shai is saying. But the thing is that it's not a sin for do these things to sit in the chief seat. It's not a sin to, have, long clothing. It's not a sin to salute somebody in the marketplace, But the thing is that it's covetousness. You covet that attention. You covet, all that stuff. And when you covet stuff, the thing about covet is there's not one thing you can do say, look at you're being covetous. It's like a sin from within. So you got to look for the symptoms of it. And back to the analogy with Bama is that Bama, just like how Yahweh Shai said, watch for certain people to do stuff. Bama didn't necessarily do anything wrong, like by fidgeting around. That's not really wrong. but he was doing something that alerted Salakia. Justice was doing something that alerted Bama. And then, so you don't always necessarily have to, somebody doesn't always have to be doing something that's wrong to raise red flags, yellow flags. You can spot stuff, that's just basically the lesson is that, you can be right, but be wrong, and you can be wrong and be right. In the sense of how Bama went off on him, he kind of was wrong, but the thing is that he was right. Everything, there's a season. There's a time to sow, time to grow, time to kill, time to heal. And that he was right on point with that. And on that note, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders who rule well. Peace and salutations and shalom.